Hello everyone, this is Paukshte Fashion Workshop. I remind you that we post new videos every day. I also want to remind you that 3 of our video courses are available now. Buy them if you haven't done it yet. We would really appreciate your support. Today we're going to show you one more video about sleeves. We want to show you a technique on how to edge the sleeves with the frills. We're going to show you how to edge them with a rolled hem. The pattern of this sleeve is similar to the one from the previous lesson. We made the sleeve wider, you already know how to do it. The sleeve cap wasn't changed. The bottom of the sleeve was extended to make the frills. First we need to stitch the underarm seams. To do that, Natalie is going to pin them. You can tack them if you need. Natalie is stitching the underarm seam. The width of the seam is 1 centimeter. Do not forget to make a bar tack in the beginning and the end of the seam. That's it. Next, we're going to edge the seam with an overlocker. We're going to do it off the camera. It's done. Next, we need to iron the seam and press it close to one of the sides. We are working with a very light viscose. Such sleeves would also look good if made of chiffon or cambric. Have a close look here. We are also going to need a narrow stripe of the interfacing material to double a small section at the bottom of the sleeve, because this fabric stretches a little. We need to do it in order to be able to make a rolled hem. The width of this stripe of fabric is 3 millimeters. There is no need for it to be wider. The hem would be too thick in this case. We've also cut a cuff from the modeling fabric and the interfacing material for it. The size of the two details is the same, 14 centimeters wide and 26 centimeters long. This is how the cuff is going to look like. In our case, it's pretty tight, because the arm circumference is small. You should use your own measurements. Measure the arm circumference and add several centimeters for the overlap. This is how you should get the size of your cuff. Please be very attentive. These are the front and the back sides of the sleeve. We need to fold the sleeve in half and make 2 tiny notches in the middle of the bottom of the back side. The distance between the notches is 4 or 5 millimeters. We're going to edge this part with a baby hem. This part should be doubled with the interfacing material. From one notch to the other. If your arm circumference is big, this section should be more than 5 millimeters wide. Next, we need to double the cuff with the interfacing material. Do not forget to cut the extra pieces right after doing it. Fold one of the edges for about 5 or 7 millimeters and press it. We're preparing the cuff ready to be stitched to the sleeve. Watch what Natalie is doing. Press the iron detail. Next, we need to fold the cuff in half and iron it. Do not forget about the seam allowance when doing it. Such sleeves look absolutely amazing with eyelets and small buttons. You can make the cuffs pretty wide. They would also look very beautiful in this case. Our sleeve is going to be neat and beautiful. I like the frills and the white cuffs. Let's go to the sewing machine. We're going to make the baby hem now. Be very careful and attentive. Watch the way Natalie is working. I remind you that we need to stitch the sleeve just from one notch to the other. The width of the seam is 1 millimeter. Natalie is cutting the extra pieces from the seam. Cut right up to the stitching. The fabric is very thin, so please be careful. Next, we need to fold the edge once again and stitch it. Make sure that you stitch right in the first seam. This is a must. Please be very careful and attentive. Have a look at the stitch detail. The seam looks good both from the right and from the wrong sides. I remind you that this is the baby hem. We made it with the very small stitches. Next, we are going to gather the sleeve. We'll show you how to do it in the next video. That's all for today. We're Ira and Natalie. Subscribe to this channel. Thank you. Goodbye.